Are we about to finally learn who the new defensive coordinator is for the San Francisco 49ers? Well, we have been waiting to see. We are less than a week away until the NFL Combine, and you would think that you would want to have your DC in place, understanding what schemes you're running, understanding what type of personnel fits that scheme, and of course, giving your new defensive coordinator an opportunity to give some thoughts on some potential free agents and or draft prospects, but we have a clue. And this is our first clue that we could find out very soon who the 49ers new defensive coordinator is. So let's take a look at said clue. We have Tim Kawakami, who writes for The Athletic. And again, part of what we do here is vetting. We're trying to vet information. Is this nonsense? Is this real? And when we look at things from guys like Tim Kawakami, they don't like a guy like Tim isn't trying to, put out sensationalized clickbait type things. It's really not. You might not like Tim. Tim may have blocked you on Twitter, but that's just not what Tim does. Tim is a credible source and he has big time connections within this organization. So when Tim tweets, here the 49ers might be closing in on a DC, not sure when there'll be an announcement, but could be soon. This is like prototypical. I'm not trying to leak the information, but I might know something. And so we see the white smoke starting to billow from Santa Clara, which is a good indication that we will find out within the week, obviously, that the 49ers have landed on their new DC and who that DC is going to be. So this is exciting. I know the offseason has been rough for a lot of 49er fans up until this point, but this is very exciting because of the candidates available. And there are a bunch of really strong candidates, which you wouldn't believe would be the case at this current stage in the game after the Super Bowl. All these coaches have been hired to their respective positions with new teams. Yet the 49ers have the potential to bring in big time former NFL head coaches. At the top of the list, Bill Belichick. Obviously, the thought of bringing in arguably the greatest coach to coach since Bill Walsh um, in to run your defense, which would allow Kyle Shanahan to have a hands-off approach, let Bill do his thing. Yeah, he's an old dog. Yeah, he's got his own way of doing things, but the 49ers have a culture already cemented. And if you can bring these two worlds together, there might be some creative synergy that is created. Could you imagine the practices in training camp? Bill Belichick scheming against Kyle Shanahan and just iron sharpening iron. Again, it might not be the most cohesive thing in the world, but it could be something that could be a huge benefit when you have a guy with that much coaching experience, that many Super Bowl rings, who knows how to get it done. And you just put him over there to run the defense. Same things and same concepts apply for guys like Pete Carroll and for Mike Vrabel. I think those are the top three candidates from a fan perspective of who you would want being your DC with the San Francisco 49ers. If the 49ers land any three of those guys, I think it's a home run hit because, again, the same concept applies. Take these guys who know what they're doing, plug them in, and let them go. I think the huge issue that Kyle Shanahan ran into last year is he felt like he couldn't trust Steve Wilks to run the defense in which he's constructed. Let's keep it a buck. Kyle is the one who has helped build those pieces, put those pieces in place, put that coaching staff together. And Steve Wilks, I just don't think did the job that he was ultimately looking for. So if you go out and get a Mike Vrabel, former Tennessee head coach, coach of the year in 2021, you go and get Pete Carroll, the architect of the Legion of Boom. And again, the architect of the defense that the 49ers are currently running, which is a cover 3 Seattle spinoff. So there are options here. there are options here, and the San Francisco 49ers could be this close to announcing it. So what we're doing right now is we're waiting and seeing when this will come out. And again, when I see this tweet from Tim Kawakami, this is, to me, this is how I'm reading it. He knows, but he's not going to be the one to break it. He's not going to be the one to put it out there unless given the green light by his source or whatever. But he's also kind of just alerting us like, all right, it looks like it's here. It looks like it's time. It's just a matter of when it's going to come out that this new defensive coordinator has been hired. So again, there are really good, strong candidates, but then there are guys like Brandon Staley. Brandon Staley has been linked to Kyle Shanahan by Greg Papa, the 49ers, play-by-play announcer, super tapped in with the organization. So Brandon Staley has been linked, but I can guarantee I can already see the comments starting to pile up. I mean, if you go to my Instagram post, it's anyone but Staley, basically. So as a fan and a fan perspective, we could be either extremely excited about this news, or there are going to be a lot of upset people. And again, it's such a dramatic ranges of outcomes because if you land Vrabel, if you land Carroll, if you land Belichick, I think there will be unanimous excitement. If you land Staley, it will be unanimous disappointment by the fan base. And again, just to clarify, this organization isn't making any moves based on what the fan base wants. And they've made that crystal clear throughout the whole quarterback situation and many situations in the past. They are not doing this to appease fans. They are doing this to win football games. So what they are trying to assess and discern is what is the best move for this organization, not what is the best perceived move by the fan base and the media. That's not what they're trying to accomplish. So again, if they land Brandon Staley, it is likely because that's who they believe is the best candidate for what they want to do. Now, I'm not, we'll see. I would say I don't dislike Brandon Staley as much as the average fan. I think he has some redeeming qualities, and I think, just didn't work out with the Chargers. But again, I won't be as upset as I would say the average fan would be, but it makes this like defensive coordinator watch very spicy, if you will, right? Because we're like, who's it going to be? Is it going to be the legend Bill Belichick? Is it going to be a former hated rival Pete Carroll? Is it going to be one of the top up and coming young coaches in the NFL and in Vrabel just taking a back seat, becoming the DC to then, likely become a head coach next year? What are we doing? Or is it going to be Brandon Staley where we're going to watch the entire fan base heads explode? Or is it going to be someone we haven't even talked about? It's going to be some unknown. Is it going to be a college coach? I know Guy Haberman talked about the UCLA, I think UCLA defensive coordinator and or USC defensive coordinator could be a potential option. So, hey, I'm just saying this. We've been alerted. We've been alerted that the decision has likely been made internally. They're just waiting to announce it. So this is your last opportunity to make your predictions of who the 49ers next defensive coordinator is going to be. So I want to see you light up the comments below with who you think the next DC of the San Francisco 49ers is, because it sounds like we are going to know very soon. So let me know in the comments below. And as always, make sure to like and subscribe and turn those notification bells on, because the second the news drops, we're posting, we're going live. So turn those noti bells on, and you're not going to want to miss this news. You're not going to want to miss this reaction, because it's either going to be pure excitement or utter disdain. There's no in between. So let me know what you guys are feeling in the comments below. And as always, make sure to like and subscribe for more updates.